Excellent. So we're going to do a class on core. We're going to work our core muscles today. But we're going to start in our standing position. All right, as usual. So, all our feet together. Perfect. And we're going to open our toes and our heels. And we're going to take a few seconds to set the weight underneath each foot. Make sure the weight is even and centered underneath the feet. Making sure we soften our knees and hands on our hips. So we're going to refer to our pelvis as our bucket of water, as always. And we're going to tuck under the bottom and lift the bottom up. Put myself to the side. You're going to tuck your bottom under, pour the water on your heels, and lift the bottom up, pour the water on your toes. So you're going to keep the movements nice and big to start with, mobilizing that lower spine. And slowly, you're going to reduce each movement until you come to the midpoint where your pelvis is level, and hands level, hips levels as well. So arms down, and we're going to roll our shoulders back, melt the shoulder blades towards our bottom, chin towards our chest, neck nice and long, head towards the ceiling. We're going to take a deep breath across our chest, so separating our rib cage, and breathing out. We're going to zip from the back through to the front, pulling the pelvic floor towards our hearts, and breathing, relax. Breathing in, breathing out, engage, zipping up from the back through to the front. Hold it, and breathing, relax. Breathing out, engage. And breathing, relax. So it's the same sensation as if you wanted to stop passing wind or having a wee. Or we can also use our lower abdominals as we're breathing out. We're going to squeeze ourselves into a tight pair of jeans, bringing those lower abdominals towards our spine. Hold it and breathe in, relax. Breathing out again, engage. And breathe in, relax. Excellent. We're going to stay nice and tall. We're going to put ourselves at the end of our mat because we're going to lower ourselves down. We're going to do some roll downs. We're going to do it in stages. So nice and tall, breath in to prepare. Breathing out, we're going to roll our chin to our chest, rolling our shoulders forward, and we're only going as far, rolling to our shoulder blades. Breath in, and breathing out, I'm going to re-stack up. Breathing to the top. Breathing out, chin to chest, rolling forward, and this time we're going to go to the middle of our backs. And stop here, breathe in, and out, re-stacking up. So we're rolling up and down one foot at a time. Breath in at the top. Breathing out, chin to chest. We're going to roll all the way to our lower back, bone by bone. We're going to stop before we move our hips forward. Breath in and out to restack the spine, one bone at a time. Breath in. This time we're going to breathing out, chin to chest, rolling forward, upper back, middle of the back, lower back, and we're going to move our hips forward and our bottom. We're going to stay there. Breathe in and out, rolling back up. Breath in and out, back down, bone by bone, rolling all the way. This time we're going to stop when our hands hit the middle of our shins. So right about there. Breathe in and all the way back up, breathing out. Well done. And then the last one, we're going to go all the way down. Breath in and out, chin to chest, rolling forward. Shoulders first, upper back, middle of the back, lower back, hip, bottom, knee soft, going as far down as we can, all the way to the floor. Breath in, and breathing. I'm going to re-stack up. Really mobilizing the spine tonight. Breath into the top. And out, we're going to go all the way down again. Breathing out nice and slow. Peeling off the bones one at a time, off the wall. As far as we can go. When we reach the bottom, we're going to walk our hands forward and come to our downward dog with our heels on the floor. Bottom to the ceiling, heads in line with your arms. And from here, we're going to bend one knee and bend the other. So stretching the back of our legs. Keeping the bottom up. Breathing in and out. Next, one more, sorry. And then we're going to put both heels down, put that bottom nice up, and then walk your hands back in to your feet, nice and slow. Knees soft and re-stack back up. And rolling the shoulders back. And we're going to take a few seconds to let the blood come back down. Get our senses. Excellent. We're going to roll back to our knees. Breath in. Breathing out, chin to chest, rolling back down. Then we're going to stop our hands on top of our knees. Right here. And we're going to bend our knees. Look to a little squat. We're going to tuck our bottom up, lift the head out. A bit like a cat and cow, being standing. And then we're going to roll or tuck under the bottom, around the back and heading. Breathing out, lift the bottom out, curve the back out, head out. And reversing. Bottom in, rounding up, heading. One more on each side. And back, rounding up. And then we're going to come back to our neutral spine, where we've got a nice diagonal line. I'm going to put myself forward so you can see. We're going to put opposite hand onto the outside of the opposite knee. And then same side arm is going to open to the ceiling, breathing out. And back in. The other side, opposite hand on the outside of the opposite knee. Then you're going to open to the ceiling, pressing the hand on the knee. Breath in and out. Breathe in first, out to open, into the stretch, out to come back in. Breathing out to open. Really good. One more on each side. Breathing out, open, into the stretch. And back in. Last one. Out to open, into the stretch, and back in. And you're going to roll back up. Well done. Keep your legs a bit of a shake. We're going to work our arms now into our single tabletop. So we're going to come back to the middle of our mats, facing me. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out. You're going to come up just with your heel off of the floor, hands in front of me, or in front of you, sorry. Breathing out, you're going to open one arm to the side. Come back in, release the heel back to the floor. And then lift the other heel up as you open to the other side. Come back in, and then lift the heel up, arm up. Come back in. Heel up, opposite arm up. And again, we're going to do that again. Heel up, open to the side. and back in. Heel up, open to the other side. Follow with your gaze and back. Arm up, heel up. Keeping your hips nice and parallel or level. Perfect. For the next one, we're going to hover the foot if we can. Opening to the side. And hover the other side. Opening to the other side. And in. Lift and hover. And lift and hover. Really good. So we really want to squeeze from the back straight to the front. Put the weight in the middle of the standing foot. Squeezing your bottom to help with the balance. Shoulders nice and relaxed away from our ears. Well done. And if we want to work a bit harder, we're going to come up fully to single tabletop as we open to the side and back in. We want to make sure the hip stays forward as we open to the side. And up. And up. So when we're going to open to the right, we're going to push that right hip forward as well. We don't want to rotate the hips, we want to keep them facing me. Just imagine you put flashlights onto those hips and you blinding me basically with your hips. Perfect. Whoop. Nice and slow, just working on our balance. Well done. We'll do one more complete set. Whoop. And up. Well done. Really relax your arms down. Give your arms a little bit of a shake. And we're going to come to the end of our mats. So we're going to do few little movements. We're going to do step by step. We're going to add a movement every time. We will do a few repetitions of each movement first before adding another one. So at the end of our mats, nice with all our position, nice and tall. We're going to start by with our hands on our hips. You're going to come up to single tabletop, shifting the weight on the standing leg, stepping forward, and coming back to single tabletop. Single tabletop, stepping forward, and back to single tabletop. If we're having trouble coming back to single tabletop, we can lift to single tabletop, step forward, and just come back to hover if that's easier. That's absolutely fine. We start with single tabletop, step forward, back to single tabletop. Trying to keep the feet hip width apart as we come back. Weight in the middle of the standing foot as we lift the knee up. Okay, one more on each side. Perfect. Last one. Okay, the next one we're going to add a bit of swimming. So we're going to come up to single tabletop, step forward, shift the weight on that front foot, bring your arms to the front and reach behind with your leg. Come back and back to single tabletop. Single tabletop, step forward. Shift the weight on the front foot, reach your arms in front and reach, let your back leg behind. And come back to single tabletop. Breathing out. Step, shift the weight, reach while swimming and back in. Keeping, the leg nice and straight behind us. Engaging through our core to reach and keep our balance. And back in. Okay, we're going to add a little single knee squat. You're going to come up to single tabletop, step forward, shift the weight, reach, and then as we are on our position, we're going to squat that knee down, squeeze back up, come back to single tabletop. Single tabletop, step forward, shift the weight, reach, squat down, squeeze up, and back to single tabletop. Working our glutes, our balance, our backs. 2, 1 more on each side before we add the last little bit. Squat and reach. Strengthen your knees and your ankles as well. Reach, squat, and squeeze back up. Well done. Okay, we're going to do that one again, but we're going to add a little lunge back. So we're going to come up to single tabletop. Step forward. Reach and extend. Squat down. Come back up. Back to single tabletop. And then here we're going to step back. Lunge down. Squeeze back up. Back to single tabletop. That's the last addition, I promise. So let's do this again. Single tabletop. Step forward. Shift the weight. Reach. Knee squat. Squeeze back up. Back to the first position. Step behind you. Lunge down. Back up. First position. And we're going to do one more on each leg. Up. Step. Swimming. Knee bend. Whoops. Squeeze back up. Single tabletop. Behind. Lunge down. Back up. Keep going. Last one on that leg. Step. Reach. Squat. Squeeze up. Back in. Behind. And lunge. And up. Well done. Give your legs a shake. Come to the end of your mat. You're going to need a head cushion when you get down. So if you have your head cushion, it's a bit too far, make sure it's at the end of your mat. Nice and tall in our normal position. Breath in. Breathing out, change your chest, rolling forward. Nice and slow. Going as far down as we can. Bending our knees as we reach the floor and putting ourselves onto our tummy. So we're going to rest our forehead onto the head cushion. Okay. So we're resting on our tummies with our hands removable, like a cactus either side of us. Elbows a little bit higher than our shoulders. So to set our position, I want to make sure that you are going to lengthen your bottom. So you're going to tuck under your bottom and glue your pubic bone onto the floor. Make sure it stays nice and glued onto the mat. You're going to take a breath in to prepare. And to engage your core, you're going to imagine there is an ice cube between your navel and your pubic bone. It's a bit cold. So as you engage, you're going to draw those frontal lower abdominals towards your spine. And then breathe in, release. Breathe in out, engage. And as you do so, you're going to stretch your arms forward, one arm at a time, reach forward and come back in. Breathing out, stretch forward. And breathe in, come back. So you're going to reach one arm forward, reaching and hovering the arm as you're breathing out. Breathe in, return. Breathing out, engage, reach the other arm forward. And breathe in, return. Keep going, one more on each side. Really good. Perfect. When you've done your last one, you're going to leave the hands where they are. But this time, as you're breathing out and engage, you're going to reach the one leg behind you, reaching so far towards the back of the room that you're going to hover the whole leg off the floor. And breathe in, return. Breathing out, engage, reach and hover. And breathe in, return. Imagine someone's pulling that leg towards the other side of the room, so high that it's hovering the leg. You want to make sure that you keep that pubic bone nice and glued to the mat as we reach the foot behind us. And breathe in, return. Breathing out, engage, reach and hover. And the next one, you're going to do the arm and opposite leg. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, we're going to reach arm and leg away, hovering them as we do so. And breathe in, return. Breathing out, engage and reach. Opposite arm and legs. And in, return. And again, breathing out and reach. Making sure we're not feeling it in our lower back. If we are feeling it in our lower back, can I suggest to put a little cushion underneath your pubic bone, just between your pubic bone and your navel, around here, if you feel it in your lower back, just raise your lower back up so you don't have any pains there. Keep going. Opposite arm and leg. We're going to do one more on each side. Breathing out, engage and reach. Breathe in, return to position. And engage the other side. And reach. Well done. You're going to relax back down and bring your elbows more in line with your shoulders. We're going to mobilize our arms and shoulders now and our shoulder blades. So we're going to stay in that position, gluing that pubic bone to the floor. Breathing out, engage, and you're going to lift your forearm off of the floor, leaving the elbow stuck to the floor. And breathing, return. Breathing out, lift the forearm off of the floor, and breathing, return. So you're going to leave the elbow to the floor and lift the hand up. Breathing out, lift, in, return. We're going to do one more on each side. And again, well done. We're going to stop here. And this time, breathing in and out, engage. We're going to reach forward with your hands, hovering the arm above you. And you're going to come back, put your elbows to your waist, creating a W. Your hands and arms are hovering off of the floor. Breathing out, reaching above your head with your hands. And coming back with your elbows to your waist, creating a W. As you reach, you create a little Y. And as you come back in, you create W with your elbows to your waist. Breathing in and out. Noticing how your shoulder blades are moving, how arms are moving. I'm going to do one more. Last one. And then you're going to open your arms wide like an aeroplane either side of you. We're going to breathe in to prepare, breathing out. You're going to lift one arm off of the floor and breathe in, return. Breathing out, you're going to lift the other arm off of the floor and breathe in, return. So both arms should be nice and long either side of you. I can only open one because I've got the furniture the other side. But for all of you, nice and long arm either side, lifting one, bringing that shoulder blade towards the middle, release, and then bringing the other shoulder blades towards the middle of the spine. And up. Breathing out to lift, in to lower. One more on each side. And again. And this time you're going to lift both arms together, bringing both shoulder blades to meet each other, and then back in. You're like a big butterfly trying to flutter off of the mat, lifting both arms up and down. One more. And when you've done your last one, you're going to lengthen your arms either side of you, palms inward facing the thighs. Bottom nice and long, pubic bone tuck and glued to the mat. We're going to do our breaststroke prep. Breath in to prepare, breathing out, engage. You're going to glide your shoulder blades towards your bottom and reach your hands towards your feet. Breathe in and come back in, relaxing the shoulders down. Breathing out, engage. Glide the shoulder blades towards your bottom. Reach your hands towards your bottom. Breath in and out to return. Breathing out, engage and glide and reach. Breathing to hold, out to return. If you want to work a bit harder, we're going to tuck our chin towards our chest. And as we glide and reach, we're going to lift the forehead off of the floor. Breath in and breathing out, return. Breathing out, engage. Glide and reach and hover. We're keeping the neck nice and long, keeping that chin tucked towards our chest. Strengthening the back of our muscles, the back muscles of our neck as we reach up. That's a great exercise for posture. Making sure that it's retraining the muscle to sit nice and tall and straight when we sit on our chairs. We're going to do two more. Breathing out to glide and reach. In to return. Excellent job, everyone. One more. And in. Really good. And we're going to bring back our hands to our cactus position with our elbows towards our shoulders. We're going to do a swan dive. Pubic bone stuck to the mat. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, chin to chest. We're going to lift the forehead off of the floor and lift the breastbone away. And breathing, return. Breathing out, engage. Push and hover. And breathing, return. We're keeping the neck nice and long, but tucking our chin to our chest. Breathing out first to come up. And breathing to return. Really good. We're going to do two more. Engaging first as you're breathing out and lift. And to come back down. Breathing out, engage, come up. And then to come back down. Well done, everyone. Okay, so now we're going to come up on our elbows. So we're going to stay on our front, on our elbows. Elbows underneath our shoulders. You're going to tuck your feet under. And we're going to do it in stages. So first of all, we're going to work our shoulder blades. So we can imagine there is a little fire underneath our breastbone. We're going to sink our chest towards the fire, bringing our shoulder blades together, and then reach away from that fire and bringing the shoulder blades away from each other. Sinking down, reaching away. Sinking down, reaching away. So I want you to feel for your shoulder blades. As you sink your chest to the floor, you should feel your shoulder blades moving together towards each other. And as you reach the breastbone away, you should feel your shoulder blades separating. Excellent. We're going to try to find a midpoint where we're not too sunk to the floor and not too lifted either. Just nice and even to the side. Keeping our feet tucked under. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, you're going to lift your pelvis away from the floor, coming to your knees. And breathing, return. Breathing out, engage. You're going to lift the pelvis away, leaning on your knees. And back in. Breathing out, zipping up, lifting the pelvis away. And back in. And back in. You can see where I'm going here. Breathing out, engage, lifting your pelvis. And back in. So we're not completely going to the plank. We're just lifting the pubic bone away from the floor. Two more. Breathing out, engage. Lift. Into return. Last one. And into return. Next one, we're going to come to our plank. So we're making sure we've got our feet tucked under. We're in a nice position, so we don't slide away. Deep breath in. Breathing out, engage. You're going to push the pelvis up. Push your knees off of the floor. Come back to your full plank. And then lower back down. Don't have to hold it for very long. Breath in. Breathing out, engage. Come up to the plank. And breathe in, return. Perfect. Breathing out, engage. And plank. And down. I'm not asking you to hold it. I'm just asking you to come up, breathe, and back down. Just up and down. If we want to work a bit harder, we're going to come up to our plank, tap one knee, tap the other, and back to the floor. Working our core hard tonight. Tap, tap, and down. Breathing out, engage. Tap, tap, and down. Great job. We're going to do two more. Up, tap, tap, and down. Last one. Coming up, tap, tap, and down. Anchor your feet. Come back down to rest your shoulders. Give your arms a bit of a stretch. You're going to come back down to your arms. And we're going to imagine that someone's behind us. So you're going to look above your shoulder and then look to your bottom. Come back to the center and look the other way. Breath in to come back to the center. Out to look to the other side. Keep going, one more. Feet tucked under. And from here, take a breath in to prepare. Breathing out, zip up, come up to your plank, pike up your bottom, and come back down. Lower down. Now you do 5. That was the first one. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, zip up. Plank, pike up, and in. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, engage. Bottom up, and in. 2 more. Breath in. Breathing out, zip up, plank. Up, and back down. Last one. Zipping up, plank, and up, and down. Put your knees down. Have a collapse on the floor for 5 seconds. You've done really, really well. Then you're gonna roll yourself onto your side. Not go to sleep. We're gonna work our bottoms now. Give the core a bit of a rest. Are you hot yet? I certainly am. We're gonna keep our legs nice and long. Arms weighty above us. And have a little head cushion if we want between our arms and between the arm and the head. So we're going to start with our knees bent and legs bent to 90-90. So hips and knees bent to 90 degrees. Your shins should be in line with your front of your mat. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to breath in to prepare. Breathing out, zipping up through the front. Lift the top leg up. Flex the foot. You're going to reach and press the foot away. And breath in. Breathing out, push. And in. And out. And in. And again. And again. Well done. Feeling your bottom work yet? Good. 2 more. Last one. You're going to stay nice and long with your top leg. Point your foot. Breath in, breathing out. You're going to draw a line forward, flex, and rub it off. Point and draw, flex, and rub it off. Draw, and rub it off. So the aim is to keep the pelvis nice and stable. So try not to rock back and forth. Zipping up through the front as we draw the leg forward. Breathing out to draw the leg, in to return. Keeping the hip nice and long. We've still got a little space underneath our waist where we stash a special chocolates. We're going to do 3 more. Two. And last one. Perfect. Lower your leg down, bend your knee, give your bottom a rub. You're going to keep that top leg nice and to 90 degrees. You're going to lengthen the bottom leg away. Keeping that top hip long, creating that gap underneath your waist. Breath in to prepare, breathing out, engage. You can lift the bottom leg up and lower. Out to lift, in to return. Keeping the gap underneath the waist as we lift that lower leg. Making sure the shoulders are relaxed. Your upper body is relaxed. It's on holiday somewhere on the beach. We're going to do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. And you're going to put your feet behind you, come up to your elbows. So if you've got the ball next to you, it's time to use it. You can put the ball underneath your waist, elbow underneath your shoulder. I want you to imagine that the ball is not there. Just give you a bit of support. But I want to make sure that you are light as possible onto the ball. So I don't want you to collapse and squash the ball with your waist. I want you to lift the waist away from the ball, just as if you can just feel the ball there but not squash it. We're going to arms to our side, breath in, breathing out, zip up. We're going to bring our arm to the side and reach that waist towards the ceiling. And in. Breathing out. And in. One more before we move up to our bit higher level. Stay at that level if that's enough. If you want to work a bit harder, you're going to bring your bottom up as you reach to the other side. And in. Breathing out. And in. Zipping up as you lift your bottom. One more. And back in. Keep your knees bent. Push yourself up to sitting. And you're going to stretch the other side. Really good. Perfect. Now you're going to swivel your legs to the other side. We're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to start with our arms extended, with our cushion between our arm and our head. And then knees and hips to 90 degrees. Shin in front of your mat. Top hip long to create that little gap for our waist. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, engage, hover the top leg. Flex your foot. Push. And back in. Breathing out. And in. Long leg. Making sure we don't collapse through our waist. So imagine you've got a wall in front of your foot and you're pushing that wall away. Shoulders relax. We're going to do 3 more. 2. Last one. We're going to stay long, point your foot. Zip up, draw the line, and flex, return. Draw the line, and return. Trying to keep that pelvis in stable, so no rocking side to side. If we have a little hips that's clicking, zipping up through our core muscles will help stopping that muscle click. And 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Bend your knees. Give your bottom a rub. And lengthen the bottom leg. Resting the other top leg onto the floor. Reach with that bottom leg away. Push that top hip away to create that little gap. Breath in to prepare. Breathe out, zip. And lift and lower the bottom leg. So here we're working the inner thighs muscles, which is quite important. Keeping long through our hips. Try not to collapse our waist to the floor. Shoulders relax. Perfect. Go to 3 more. 2. And last one. Well done. Bend your knees and bring your feet behind you. Lift yourself onto your elbow. Elbow underneath the shoulder. If you've got your ball, you can rest it underneath your, or a cushion, rest it underneath your waist, and make sure you don't collapse onto it. It's really a guide to remind you that you have to keep your waist lifted. Hips forward and arms to the side. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, zip up. We're going to reach the arm above us and back in. Trying to lift that waist further away from the mat and reaching the side of our ribs to the ceiling. Breathing out as you reach into it then. And the next one, if we want, we're going to lift our bottom up and reach the hip towards the ceiling and down. Zipping up through our core to help lifting that bottom. 2 more. Last one. Well done. Excellent. Stay with you, knees where they are. Push yourself up and reach to the other side. Really good. Well done. And you're going to come and rest on your back, but not for sleep, I'm afraid. You're going to have your little head cushion underneath your head. So we're going to do our work on our scissors. So we're going to rest onto our back with our head on our head cushion. We're going to find a position first. So feet and knees together. Then you can open your toes and your heels. So your feet and knees are parallel and hip width apart. We're going to try to keep them in that position. We're not too close to our bottom either. Arms relaxed either side of us. Shoulders relaxed. Chin tucked towards our chest. Neck nice and long. So I'm going to ask to find your neutral pelvis. So we're going to rock the pelvis towards the mat and rock the pelvis away. So squishing the lower back onto the mat and lifting the lower back away. So making the movement big to first of all. And slowly reducing each movement until we have a nice flat pelvis. Upon it, we could put a nice tray of drinks. Nothing would slide off. And we have a little gap underneath our lower back for our blueberry. So we all set up for our scissors. So we take a breath in to prepare. Breathing out, we're going to zip up through the front or from the back through to the front and come up to single tabletop. Knee in line with your hips, feet in line with your knees. You're going to hold up there, breath in. You're going to lock your knee into 90 degree Flex your foot up. And as you're breathing out, you're going to hinge forward with your hip. Keep the knee into the angle. Tap the heel to the floor. And breath in, return. Breathing out. Tap. In, return. Knee locked into place. You're hinging forward from the hip. Same leg. So no bending of the knees. The knee stays in that 90-degree angle. We're hinging the leg from the hip. You should feel it in your hips rather than on your knees. We'll do 2 more. Last one. Relax your foot down. We're going to do the same on the other side. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, engage. Come up to single tabletop. Flex your foot. Breath in. Out to hinge forward. Tap the heel. And in, back in. Excellent. Trying to keep the lower back nice and in neutral, not lift away from our blueberry. Do 2 more. Last one, and relax the foot down. So you can stay that level if that's enough. If you want to work a bit harder, we're going to come up to a double tabletop. So breath in to prepare, breathing out to engage, single tabletop. Breathe in, imprint your ribs onto the floor, really imprinting the ribs onto the mat. Engage and double tabletop. We're going to do the same movement. Breath in, breathing out, tap the heel to the floor, back in. Tap the other heel to the floor, back in. Keeping the knee 90 degree, hinging from the hips. If we want to work a little bit harder, we're going to clasp our hands together, put them behind our heads, elbows nice and wide, and as we lower one leg to the floor, the elbow is going to come up and meet the opposite knee, and lower. Breathing out as you lift your shoulder off of the floor to meet the other. We're trying to keep the lower back in neutral, so I'm going to squash a blueberry. Chin up towards the ceiling. Remember, you can stop anytime or lower the level at any time. We'll do 1 more. And then relax the shoulders and legs down one at a time. Excellent. We're going to lengthen our legs in front of us. Oh, my legs are shaking. And arms behind us. Relax into the stretch. We're going to point and flex your feet. Deep breath in and out. Bend the knees back in. Bring the arms back to the side. Grab your cushion or your little ball to put between your knees. We're going to do some shoulder bridge. We're going to take the head cushion away from our heads for the shoulder bridge. Bring your feet closer to your bottom to avoid cramping. Find your neutral and your tray of drinks. Chin to our chest. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out, engage. Squeeze your ball. Squash your blueberry. Squeeze your bottom up. Lift all the way up to your shoulder blade. Breath in. Out, return the spine to the floor. and to neutral. Breathe in, breathing out. Engage, squash your ball, squeeze your blueberry, bottom up to your shoulder blades, breath in at the top. And out to return to your floor. And the next one, we're going to stay up there for a little bit longer. Breath in, out to engage, squash, squeeze your balls, squash your blueberry, bottom up. When we're at the top, we're going to stay there, lift one heel off of the floor, other one, both heels. Heel, heel, both heels. Heel, heel, both heels. We're staying up a bit longer, keeping the bottom nice and high. In between each heel lifts. Squeezing that bottom up. A little bit longer. Chest nice and soft. One more. And lower all the way down. Bring your knees to your chest. Give your back a little rock side to side. Really good. Lower your feet one at a time. Feet and knees together. Arms open wide like an aeroplane either side of you. Breath in to prepare. Breathing out. You're going to lower your knees to one side and roll your head onto the other. Breathe into the stretch. Breathing out. Use your core muscles to come back to the center. In into the middle. And out to lower to the other side. Breathing into the stretch. And back to the center. Breath in. Breathing out, lower to the other side. Breathe in. Out, come back to center. Pause and breath in. And lower to the other side as you're breathing out. And breathe in. One more either side in your own time. Excellent. You're going to roll yourself all the way to your sides with your hands in front of you. So if you have a cushion, I'd like you to put that cushion underneath your head or the ball underneath your head to support your head so you don't hurt your neck. Knees are bent, feet are behind you. Perfect. Both arms are in front of you. Your hips are forward, a little bit like when we do the clams. So hips roll forward towards the mat. You're going to take a breath in, breathing out, zip up. You're going to come up with your hand, top hand. And as you lift your arm above and behind you, you're going to follow with your head. You're going to keep the hips forward. Breath into the stretch. And breathe in, return. Breathing out, lift and come around, follow your arms with your head. You're going to bring your top ribs first to the ceiling and finish up with the last rib, the bottom rib. Breath in. And as you come back, you're going to bring the bottom ribs across first, middle of the ribs, and then the top ribs last. So a bit like a corkscrew. But the important thing is to keep your hips forward as you rotate to this and above your arm. And bring it back in. Perfect. We do one more. Breathing out. And in. Well done. You're going to push yourself up to sitting. We're going to use that to do a nice little mermaid stretch. Move your legs to the other side. We're going to do the same, arms opening, knees bent, arms in front, head onto your cushion, knees, feet behind you, hips forward. So knees bent, hip forward, arms in front. Breath in to prepare, breathing out, engage, lift and palm across, lifting the top ribs first and across. Breath in. And breathing out, return. Breathing in, out, come and open. Keep your hips forward as you rotate your ribs towards the ceiling. Breath in. And back in. Breathing out, open. Breathe in. And back in. We'll do two more. Breath in and out, open. Breathe in. And back. Last one. And up. Breathe in. And back to the center. Well done. You're going to roll yourself onto your back with your head cushion underneath your head. You're going to bring one knee towards your chest. So pinning one knee to your chest. Keep that knee as close to your chest as possible as you lengthen the other leg away towards on the floor. And once that leg is nice and straight, you're going to point and flex your foot. Stretching the back of your leg and the front of your leg. And then you're going to twirl your ankle one way. And twirl your ankle the other way. Quack, quack. And you're going to swap other knee to your chest and lengthening the other leg away from you as you keep that knee onto your chest. Point and flex the foot of the stretched leg. Deep breath in. And then you're going to circle the ankle one way. And circle the other way. I'm going to put the knees back, the feet back onto the mat, bringing the knees back to bend. You're going to rest one ankle onto the other knee. And the foot that's on the floor, you're going to take it off the floor, bring the thigh towards you, clasp your hands behind that thigh, and push your elbow onto the knee that's in the air to stretch your bottom. Excellent. Lower your foot down. We're going to do the other side. Ankle to knee. Open that knee as far as possible. Lift the foot off. Clasp your hands behind the thigh. Use your other elbow to push the knee that's in the air away. Stretch. It gives a little extra stretch to the bottom. And then you're going to lower your foot down. You're going to roll yourself onto your side. Help yourself up with your hands. Come to your hands and knees. On your hands and knees, knees in line with your hips, hands shoulder width apart. You're going to tuck your feet under. You're going to push your bottom up into the air and lower your heels down for your downward dog. And then we're going to bend our knees one at a time. Stretch the back of our legs like we did at the beginning. One more on each side. Both heels down. You're going to put your knees to the floor. Big step forward with your hands. You're going to lower your hips to the floor. Come to our cobra. Breath in. And from here, you're going to come back up. Leave your hands where they are on the mat and lower your bottom towards your heels. The bottom's going to be up in the air, but you're going to lower your chest to the floor. And slowly you're going to bring your arms or your hands towards you, lowering your bottom onto the floor, coming to full shell stretch. And you're going to walk your hands to one side. And then walk your hands to the other side. Back to center. Come back to your knees. Tuck your feet under. You're going to sit on your heels. Couple of breaths here. Put your fingers in front of your knees. Push on your fingers. Roll onto your feet. Sit on your feet if you can. Couple of breaths here. Bringing your fingers towards your feet. You're going to push your bottom up and use your roll down to roll back up. Taking your time to roll back up. Feeling the stretch through your spine and your lower back. Back to center and into standing. And we're going to roll our shoulders back. Bring our shoulders up to your ears and relax them down. And then head and chin to chest and chin up. Nice and slow. Chin to chest, chin up. We're going to look over one shoulder and look over the other shoulder. And again, other side. Back to center, ear to shoulder. I'm going to stretch the opposite hand away. You're going to stay in that position and look to the floor. Bring it back to center and back to the middle. Other ear to shoulder. Reach the opposite hand away. Look to the floor. Back in and back to the center. Give your shoulders a shake and your legs a shake. And you're all done for tonight. Well done.